Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is just gonna be a day at home. I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm doing, nothing special. I actually worked all night, so it's kind of late already. I think we're already like 11:30 or noon. That's usually around the time that I get up if I work all the way to like 6 a.m. I still have a rocky voice because I'm just tired. Anyway, so I'm gonna make some pineapple tea, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make it. My Valentine's Day flowers, I'm looking at them, they're still looking good. Let me show you what it looks like. So as you guys can see, still looks good. Like, it just makes me feel extra good just looking at them every single day. Keep it shining like the stars we see above. I wanted to be here by my side. Okay, so basically I think I showed you guys how I was making the pineapple tea before. So I just need a small pot, and what I do is I just put the skin in here. I'm gonna juice tonight, so I'm gonna still do the celery, pineapple, ginger juice. So this one is gonna go in the juice, and this one I'm just gonna make into a tea. I'm gonna call it. So for the rest of this one, I'm just gonna cut it in big chunks. Anything you wanna see, be there in a heartbeat. Just say the words and we can go. We've got just one life, baby. So live it up, take it one day at a time. So I've already put the pineapple in the stove. So it's gonna take another like 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm peeling ginger, which I'm gonna add as well, because it gives it a really good taste. Drinks in Ibiza, anywhere you wanna go, baby, you just let me know. Sunny Indonesia, don't say no. Sipping on tequila, anything you wanna see, be there in a heartbeat. Just say the words and we can go. Just one life, baby. So live it up, take it one day at a time. Keep it shining like the stars we see above. I wanted to be here by my side. I drop you through. So today I don't have many things planned. I did most of the work overnight, which that's the reason that I slept super late. I think I slept at like 5 a.m. Like 5 a.m. Who does that? The funny thing is that when I'm in Cameroon, I still have the same type of, hours where I will work overnight and I will sleep super late, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Then I'll wake up around 10, and then I will start heading to my meetings. Yeah. So I have a thing for like working at night. I don't know why, but it makes sense, right? Like if you have clients that are from other countries and then they have different hours, I think that's really the reason. I mean, let me digress, because actually when I was a student at university, I was working overnight. I think my overnight hustle started a long time ago. So I was working overnight on campus as a night security supervisor. For some of you who lived on campus, you know the people who are supposed to monitor the dorms on campus overnight. I was one of those people. There were also public safety, but public safety is more like the people that, like, it's like the cops of universities, So anyway, so I was working overnight when I was going to university for at least 3.5 years. I was working overnight, and then I still had a day job, and I still had school full time. So enough talking. Let me go ahead and take a shower, and I'll continue the conversation later. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going out because I'm supposed to have quote-unquote meeting with somebody that I want to work with. and my friend and I are supposed to go there actually. So I'm not sure if it's gonna be. I mean, it was supposed to be Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm trying to figure out which day we're supposed to meet. But if we do meet, I'm gonna take you guys with me. But let me make some phone calls and then make sure everybody is ready for today so that we can have that meeting. If not today, then it's probably gonna be tomorrow. But I need to make some phone calls. I also need to make phone calls back home because I want to make sure that a transfer has been made to one of the giveaway winner that I haven't, I mean, my staff has been busy with other projects. So I just found out, I think it was yesterday or today, that she did not yet receive her funds. And I was supposed to approve it, but life happened. Anyway, so I need to make sure it was done, and I'll talk to you guys later. So guys, I finally took a shower. So I've been using this lip balm, which is from Mario Badescu. That's what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've been in love with this. I used to use, I think it was like Nivea lip balm, but this one has been doing the work. I got it like 1 week ago or so. It's just really, really good, really moisturizing. So the weather, I love to talk about the weather since I came here. I feel like I've been talking about the weather, but anyway, so the weather is really good. Like, it's, even though today is raining, it's not, I mean, it's not cold. You guys can see I'm wearing a dress. It's not cold. I'm just loving this type of weather. It actually makes you sleepy. Like, to tell you the truth, it makes you sleepy. I just got off the phone with my sisters, guys. I think I mentioned on my last video, I mentioned that I was watching, just the amount of noise when you're outside. I mentioned that I watched Tinder Swindler during Valentine's Day weekend, and somebody had, mentioned that I should talk about that from a feminist point of view. And I don't even think it's a feminist point of view. I just think it's from a woman's point of view, right? Doesn't have to do anything with feminism. So my sisters and I had the conversation about Tinder Swindler today. Guys, it was so much fun. And at the same time, I don't feel like, I mean, we're 5 of us, right? So we don't have different opinions when it comes to this was BS. Like, just the ending of it. If you guys watch it, then you probably already know. But I don't want to spoil it for the people who haven't watched it. Yeah, Tinder Swindler on Netflix. Maybe you guys should watch it, and then we'll talk about it at some point. But anyway, so it was just one of those documentary that is real life. It happened, and my sisters and I all agree that it had happened to many of our girlfriends. It happened to some of us. Whether it was 100 euros or $1,000, doesn't matter, right? If somebody scammed you, he scammed you. So yeah, so we had such an amazing conversation. It was just funny because I think I'm the most scammed in terms of financially, like how much I was scammed. So we're talking about it, and then my sister, one of my sisters, Gabby, she was like, oh no, the most I could have given was just amount of money, couple of hundreds, right? And I was like, I gave a couple of thousands. And yeah, and I already told you guys about that story. So if you guys haven't watched the story about my so-called boyfriend who scammed me, go ahead and watch it. I'm gonna put the link down below. So that video will tell you basically everything, how it happened, and how you can trust somebody so much, thinking that the person, the person is a friend, somebody that you want to be in a relationship with, and then he scams you. So that was pretty much the same thing as Tinder Swindler. Like, the guy, like, it's crazy. It's just crazy, And the funny thing is that many people opinions, like, people were like, the women were going for like the money, like they were attracted with the money. The guy had the money, he was a billionaire. First of all, my first thing was like, if the guy, okay, scratch that. I do understand that many women are going to be impressed with getting on a private jet. First, like, okay, talking about that private jet, the first girl on that documentary, why? Girl, why? Like, I get it, right? Like, you were in love and everything, but like, I'm talking about the first day. How do you even, like, I'm just thinking about human trafficking, how women are just, that's how they get, kidnapped. And I'm like,
how did you have that type of gut, that type of courage? Like, you barely know somebody, you barely, I mean, yes, okay, he's a billionaire according to him, but you barely know the guy, and you hop on a plane, on a private jet. Like, that one alone, I was like, wow. Like, whew, okay, that was different. But I do get it, right? Because sometimes you want something different, and I think she was one of those women that was more like she wanted to live the romance life. She wanted to be treated like a queen and stuff like that. So I get that. She believes in the lovey-dovey type of relationship. So basically she went for the risk, and then things happened. So that one was another story. And then the amount that she even lent the guy, I'm just like, okay, you didn't even have the money. Okay, that's another story. But I'm not going to judge the woman, right? Like, girl, you know, I'm judging you. I'm judging you without judging you back, girl. This was a bit too much. But anyway, going back to the guy, he was really good. He was really good. So the thing with women also, if we have to admit it, is that sometimes women wants to see a guy invest first, because so many men talk, but they don't really walk the talk. So I think the fact that he was able to show the women that I'm not just talking about I'm rich, I'm actually inviting you, I'm actually, you know, like, showing you the money, I'm making you going on private jets, I'm sending you videos of me, I'm like, and the funny thing is that he was sending those voice messages, and everything that he was sending to one woman, he was sending to the rest of them. So they were getting the same voice messages, the same pictures, the same everything. Like, whew, that guy was good. I mean, he probably, I feel like he mastered his skills of, like, you know, getting at women and things like that. And he was really smart at picking the women that were, I don't want to say desperate, but the women that were longing for those type of relationship, for those type of love. Because first of all, he was not going to go for a woman who was in his type of level, like she's also a millionaire or billionaire, because she would be able to read him faster. So he would go for the weaker links, which were the women that have like average salaries and average lives. And yeah, that was crazy. Like, I just had a 2-hour long conversation with my sisters, and all of us were just like, wow. And it really brought us, I mean, we started thinking about how we've been scammed, maybe not financially, but like emotionally, you know, when somebody actually promised you something and then you find out it was never it. Like, we just, oh guys, it's a long story, okay? I'm not going to share all the dirty laundry here, but it was just one of those things that I was like, okay, many women actually go through this thing. And I think on the documentary on Tinder Swindler, there were only 3 women, 3 women that actually testified, and then they agreed to be part of the movie. But like, I feel like there were so many other women who actually fell for it. Not that I feel like, there were so many women that came up front and said he also scammed me, such and such. But the amount of how much he scammed each of them is ridiculous. Like, it makes sense why this guy was living the type of life that he was living. Like, it was just ridiculous. Like, I can't even, no, it's ridiculous. Like, the fact that I gave somebody who was supposed to be my boyfriend, somebody who was supposed to be a family friend and things like that, the fact that I even gave him a couple of thousand, that story alone, like, scars me, like, to the max. Like, I'm not going back. Like, I'm not doing this mistake ever again. And I think for women who have a certain social class and they have a certain status, like maybe you're a CEO of a company, maybe you own, like, we're really careful. We're really careful how we introduce ourselves. I've been in positions where I introduce myself as a hairstylist, because I used to be one. Nothing against that, you know, that field of work. I introduced myself as a hairstylist, right? And the guy didn't even want to take my number down. I mean, I met him at the gym. That was like back in 2017 or 18. And then the same person, the same guy saw me again wearing my most professional attire, because usually after work, I would go to the gym. So he saw me again 2017, like, I think it was 2017, wearing my most professional attire, because that day I had meetings back to back at work. And he approached me again, and he was like, oh, you went for an interview? Because at first he thought I was, you know, a hairstylist. So why would a hairstylist dress up like me? Until I remember that day, I was like, you know what, let me just tell him exactly what I do. And at the time, I had just launched YGL Waging, my brother company, even though I was working full time. So I remember this guy, as soon as I told him the type of work that I was doing, and I didn't even tell him about the company, okay, that I just launched. I just told him, this is what I do. He wanted my phone number. I never went on a date with him, but I remember that experience alone. And then there were other experiences, okay? I usually encounter men who come towards me, and as soon as they find out I have such and such, companies and whatever, like what I do, because somebody can easily screen you from what you do. Guys, I know the camera is shaking, the wind is blowing, but I just wanted to like breathe fresh air. That's why I'm outside. And I've been really careful at telling people what I do, because sometimes just saying I do A, B, C, G, people start having this idea that I'm just extra millionaire, I'm living the life and things like that. So I'm really careful, and I've realized that many people, unfortunately, many men, they look for successful women to take care of them to a certain extent, or at least to make sure that she will be paying the bills in the household or something like that. And I have stories after stories. I'm not going to go into details. That being said, I also want to mention that I'm a woman, so I know what women have been doing for a long time, which is also making sure that they date men who have something. So they're really good. I mean, when I say we women are really good at scanning a guy, and just from the way he dresses up, from the places that he goes to, the job that he has, we can tell if this guy actually has some type of financial security, because I think that's what overall women are looking for. I mean, guys, don't be jumping at me, but I think women, when they go for relationship, they look for security. Of course, we always look for love, okay, but they look for security. So security for us translate into, what do you do? Because we want to make sure that you're just not somebody who sit at home. So I think there are also many stories that men can say and men can tell about women who have Tinder Swindler them, women who have scammed them, basically. So I think it got both ways, but yeah, you just have to be careful. But it was one of those documentaries that I was just like, what? And then the end of it, right, where he kept on living his life as if nothing ever happened. Like, why? Like, why? Like, I didn't get that, right? I do understand that he was probably deported from like the UK and all of these other European countries he was going to, because I think he's now in Israel and he's dating this woman who I'm guessing she's probably rich, and he's still living a lavish life. And I'm like, do people then, don't they Google people? Don't they watch people? Like, like, how come they're not aware of him? But anyway, maybe he's just dating one of those, you never know, one of those women who don't care. She just need a man's, presence in her life. So anyway, to each their own. But I was really shocked. And then I was shocked that he was still on social media, until my sister basically told me that she believes that he was kicked out of social media, like Tinder and all of those social sites. Because I was like, why? Why would you, I mean, if Twitter and Facebook and all of these other social sites were able to kick out Trump, what about this Tinder Swindler guy? Like, why? Anyway, but I found out, eventually he was kicked out of the social media platforms, so that's good. But he was, I think he only spent like 5 months in jail, and I'm like, only? Anyway, to each their own, like I said, because at the end of the day, how are you gonna, okay, somebody's car is ringing. At the end of the day, how are you gonna really keep him in jail when he didn't steal the money? Those women willingly gave him the money. That was also another thing that, it's kind of tricky. So be careful who you date out there. Be careful when a guy is telling you so much about marriage and I want to marry you, I want to be with you, too soon, because sometimes it's a red flag, okay? So if people are talking marriage too soon, for me personally, it has always been a red flag. And because you don't know what they're hiding, and many men actually know that women are looking for marriage. Women of a certain age are seeking for marriage. They're seeking to breed families, so they're really good at selling you the story that this is what I want, this is what I've been longing for. And I'm just hoping that many women don't fall for it, for real. Like, that was just too much of a story. And I know other women have even worse stories than that. So Anyway, let me go back inside. I hope you guys are doing amazing. My day has been kind of slow, as you guys can tell. It's been slow, nothing much going on. Just on the phone for 2 hours working. At some point I was working, and then I feel like I still have sleepy eyes, even though I tried to take a shower. I kind of like zhuzh up a little bit so that I look like something, and I'm still feeling a bit tired. So that being said, maybe I'm gonna talk to you guys at some point. I'm supposed to go out because I have to meet somebody. So I'm gonna go out, maybe to his house. We're gonna go to his place. I'm not sure if I'm gonna vlog there. So if I don't, let's say I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch up next time. Bye.
Thank you.